Extinction Rebellion is planning a drone protest at Heathrow. Let's have a look. Good evening everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I have my stein of coffee and I thought we'd talk about another protest from Extinction Rebellion. Now they're planning on a drone protest. Now Extinction Rebellion is an organization that protested in Melbourne recently, and you can see the footage playing up there, and I'll link to that video, where they pretty much had a lying down protest, where they were lying down on the ground to protest the natural, the extinction of humanity as they're concerned. And this is a bit of their propaganda. Let's have a look. Our way of life is breaking nature, causing floods, extreme weather, wildfires, crop failure, food shortages, mass migration. Now, I wouldn't say mass migration, maybe everyone should look at borderlands, is caused by the climate, but mainly economic incentives. Mass extinctions, and they're blaming the government that have known for this, and they're into the whole the world is going to end in 12 years mob. Now, this is a quote from the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit. Now, these are a group that are concerned with environmental climate change or human-driven climate change. And the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, which supports its course of strong action and demands, say that the time frame being urged by Extinction Revolution, they're calling for climate neutrality by 2025, an ambition that technologically, economically, and politically has absolutely no chance of being fulfilled. We need to get rid of flying. We need to scrap 38 million cars. So it's just completely preposterous. Completely preposterous. And you can see here, this is the example of the funding that they get. And, they started up with grants. So guys, keep that in mind as we read this article and just think about who are they trying to reach with this? What are they trying to do? Who are they trying to win over? Because they want to have, they're doing all these lying down protests everywhere, and now they plan to do a drone protest at Heathrow Airport. That is just insane. Can you imagine how many people that is going to turn against them? Are we the last generation? No, you're not. You are not, because you're suffering from really a cult mentality and, just the claims here. And I'm going to pull this up. And this is from Scott Pluyas, a academic social psychologist. They're suffering from confirmation bias. They're seeing information out there. They're interpreting it in a particular way that benefits their agenda, their ideology. And, they're a lost cause in some regards. And this is concerning. So let's have a read through this article. Extinction Rebellion activists are threatening to shut down Heathrow Airport with drones. The climate change protest group vowed to stage a one-day demonstration in June and then 10 further days in July unless the government cancels plans for expanding the airport. They want the government to cancel plans for expanding the airport. That is just crazy. 10 days of protests across central London in April saw 1,130 people arrested for various offences. Heathrow Airport said the plan was reckless and could endanger lives. Well, yeah, it is. It is reckless and it is dangerous. Who are they going to win with this? Just think about this. If you're flying, in or out of the airport and all your travels get disrupted because of these bunch of nutters doing drone strikes, who is that going to win? No one in the media will be favorable. It'll only be a benefit to their group. It'll disrupt so many people. How is this good optics? Now, do you think they're actually going to go ahead with it? Or they're getting all their publicity now, just threatening to do it? Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. But let's get back to this article. Extinction Rebellion said it was in talks with members about carrying out actions to close the airport on the 18th of June and again from the 1st of July for up to 10 days if the government did not cancel plans to expand the airport. Now, one thing that I mean, they're going to just piss off every drone enthusiast as well. It's just insane. Airports need to expand. Brisbane is getting a second runway. You know, that's called commerce. It's called business. It's called civilization. These are good things. A spokesman for the group said it was fully committed to non-violence and it would not take action that would put airline passengers at risk, but in the face of climate and ecological collapse, will continue to build a peaceful movement. Okay, so now they're claiming they're a peaceful movement and they're fully behind it. I wonder with their rhetoric if they're going to continue down that path, because it sounds like they're cultists. It sounds like they're impervious to any alternative thinking. Anyway, protesters occupied Oxford Circus as part of the Extinction Rebellion demonstration in April. The plan to use drones was revealed in a leaked consultation document shared between group members. A Heathrow spokesman said, "This is reckless action that, if carried out, could endanger the lives of the travelling public and our colleagues." Well, yeah, it could. But what if I remember Scott Adams was talking about predicting that we would get drone terrorist attacks at public venues. Because these drones are cheap, they can carry weights. What would happen? What would happen? How are they dealing with it? I know they're training hawks to capture them and they're disabling them. Yeah. We agree with the need to act on climate change, but that requires us to work together constructively, not commit serious criminal offences, just as hard-working people prepare to spend a well-earned holiday with their families and friends. I like how the airport is framing it. Hard-working people going away for their family and friends, and these protesters going against them. So it's smart. Aviation Minister Baroness Veer warned that any illegal activity must be met with the full force of the law. She added, "Flying drones near an airport is a serious criminal offence, and using drones to deliberately put people's safety at risk carries a maximum life sentence. No government has done more to reduce carbon emissions, and Britain is at the forefront of global efforts to tackle climate change." Last month, the group's tactics in central London, including asking volunteers to deliberately get arrested to cause maximum disruption at road blocks on Waterloo Bridge, Oxford Circus, and Marble Arch. Marble Arch. Sorry, a crypto guy I watch always says Marble Arch. Demonstrators also... Thumbs up if you know who I'm talking about. Demonstrators also protested at Heathrow, but did not cause disruptions to flights. A small group of mostly teenage activists briefly unfurled a banner near a tunnel which leads to Terminals 2 and 3 as several police officers watched on. So teenagers, so their brains haven't finished growing. It was announced in January that police would be given new powers to tackle the illegal use of drones after hundreds of flights at Gatwick Airport were disrupted by drone sightings in December. I wonder why they don't just radio black out the signals. Last year, the government made it illegal to fly a drone above 120 meters or within 1 kilometer of an airport. And we have a similar thing here in Australia. If you actually look up all the restricted areas where you can fly drones, I had a project where we were doing an extension or re-roofing of a building just up the road near the airport here. And I wanted to buy a scanner, buy a drone so I could fly over it and get the 3D photographic generation of the roof. But I'd need like a pilot's license and all this other stuff, so it just wasn't worth it. Almost managed to get a new toy out of that project. That's the trick, guys, when you're working with your wife. The exclusion zone will now be extended to the current air traffic zone around airports, which is approximately 5 kilometers radius, with additional exclusions from runway ends. Yeah, well, I've got no problem with that. Endangering the safety of an aircraft is a criminal offence, which can carry a prison sentence of up to 5 years. So, I mean, you can see here, boom, look at the incidents increasing drones, just how they've gotten much cheaper. So, what do you all think, guys? Are you for this or are you against it? Do you think it's a peaceful protest or not? Do you think, they want to ban all plane travel. That's part of what they're claiming. They want to have no pollution or carbon neutrality. Oh wait, not in this one. In this one, they want to have carbon neutrality by what, 2025? You know, halt biodiversity and carbon neutral by 2025. That's what they're claiming. And it's not achievable. It's not possible. And this strategy that they're planning to do, is just going to upset a lot of people and be terrible marketing for their organization and for their cause. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think this is a bad move? I think it's just insane. And if they're actually are going to do it, it'll just destroy any positive relationship they'll have with most of the public. And it'll just make them a fringe group. And frankly, flying drones near aeroplanes for political purposes, if one crashes, then they're a terrorist group. Pretty much. Anyway, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Ding the bell to see my daily updates, and I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.